Gotcha. Good Tuesday, everybody. Welcome once again to BTL Bass Talk Live, where we're going to talk bass fishing and anything else that we want to talk about. Matthew, how you doing?
Can we change the intro of the show?
What do you mean?
I think it should be we're going to talk bass fishing drama and anything else that we want to talk about.
Yeah, good point, man. Good point. A lot of drama and pretty good feedback from the show yesterday with Brandon Polinick.
Yeah, Brandon Polinick, obviously one of the two anglers who made the announcement just prior to Thanksgiving, returning to the Elite Series along with Gerald Swindle, who we'll have on later day. And I have a business question for you, Mark, right off the hopper.
Wow. All right. Throw it at me.
Right off the bat. This is because I value your opinion,
Sure
and I know
you do.
that you'll be able
You're
to
probably hanging me out to
answer this.
dry
No,
here.
I'm 100% not. So, I've seen in the comments, and we've talked about it, and one of the things that keeps coming up is an NDA.
Yeah.
Non-disclosure agreement.
Yes.
And who knows what these guys had to sign, what MLF anglers had to sign, what Elite Series anglers had to sign, what these two guys had to sign coming off.
Yeah.
Enlighten me.
It's protection.
I know in a roundabout way what it is, but just give it kind of a ground rules of what an NDA is and how it would prevent guys and how it protects both the anglers and the companies and how this plays into this whole thing.
Well, anytime you have a I don't know, small, medium, large, whatever business transaction that's going to occur, and there is sensitive material in there that could affect maybe the outcome of the deal. In other words, something might happen to where word gets out and then another company finds out or another person finds out, and then ramifications result in the deal not getting done.
Because of rumor or because of people talking.
Yeah. Or it might even be factual information of which the either party didn't know or they were not aware of the situation, which in turn may put the deal in jeopardy.
Okay.
So it's protection is what it is. Protection to both parties and getting the deal done.
Okay.
That's the basic fundamentals of an NDA.
Okay, I know this is probably really basic and people are laughing at me on this that I don't understand this. But what type of NDA do you think Polinick and Swindle might have possibly had to sign on Bass side, on MLF side, on any side?
At any time?
Just over this whole moving
I think in the beginning, I'm sure that there are terms and conditions of the contract that they do not want to let out to the general public
who
and the
doesn't?
fans.
Bass-
Either organization. I mean, anytime you sign an NDA, obviously there's sensitive material in there.
So what you're basically saying with that NDA is, hey, you sign this and you legally now are contractually obligated. You can't go on Bass Talk Live and just spill the beans on numbers and exactly what was said and how it went down.
And I've seen some NDAs that actually have language in the NDA that if this takes place, it's going to cost you $500,000 or it's going to cost you $1.5 million or whatever.
Have you ever had to sign one?
Yeah.
A bunch? Like at UPS or in personal
UPS.
life? Or?
Some of the projects that we were working on when we formed UPS Capital, we were dealing with insurance companies and financial institutions that in some situations we had to sign NDAs.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of them are kind of the same, but there are NDAs that are specifically very unique from the perspective of obviously the language and what the consequences are if the NDA is breached.
I mean, I took Business 101 in 2000.
Yeah, it's more of a legal thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a business thing, but at the same time, put yourself in both organizations' situation. You do not want. What would have happened if Swindle and Polinick signed an NDA with Bass? This deal was done 6 months ago, and the word got out, and they were still fishing.
That had not
been good.
It would have been an unpleasant situation.
Yeah. So it protects all parties to an extent to where when the deal gets done, that there's no damage to getting the deal done and all parties involved are basically
Now,
okay.
is there a timestamp on this, on an NDA, or is it a lifelong deal?
No, most of the time the language is really clear in the agreement on what the time frame is of the NDA.
Can you even say that you had to sign an NDA? Or is that part of the NDA? Is there an NDA about the NDA?
You could put language in there that says you cannot discuss the fact that you did sign an NDA.
Okay.
I mean, you can structure a contract any way you want.
I got you. That clears it up for me. Fair question, though. I mean, you got a bunch. I mean, hopefully, I would assume there's some people that are in the situation.
So you've never had to sign an NDA ever.
You want to know the irony of this whole thing?
What's that?
Mark? I have signed a Major League Fishing NDA.
When?
In 2011, when Major League, this whole thing, they just had
kind of funny.
They just had the 4 cups. That was it, right? And they hadn't had anything. Marty Stone was still fishing. I went in and interviewed.
Oh, when you covered it,
I went in and interviewed for Marty Stone's position for the original MLF in 2011, and I had to sign an NDA.
Yeah.
Now, I have no idea what was in it or anything. Trust me.
You just signed it.
After what has gone on over the past 2 months, Mark, I will not be signing anything without reading the fine print. If you know where I'm going down that road. But yeah. But I thought that was ironic because I'd signed that.
Those 3 letters, I never thought 5 years ago we'd be talking about NDAs so much. And they would be such an integral part of both tours. You know, here's the other thing, and nobody has said, have you heard anything about contracts over on the bass side?
What do you mean contracts?
Like, you know, the guys over on Major League Fishing had to sign a 3-year deal. I hadn't heard anything.
Typically, we're able to get our hands on the rules, regulations each year. So Good Samaritan will send that over. So
there's nothing wrong with that being out in the public.
Yeah, I've never heard of, obviously the 3-year contract deal with the Bass Pro Tour. But I hadn't heard that on the Elite Series side. But I don't know if you've noticed, but times are changing. So who knows what the deal is there.
Hey, I want to let everybody know, next Monday you are going to be in Florida, correct?
Correct.
All right. We're still going to have shows next week. Matt's going to be live via Skype. And then we're going to have a special guest on Monday. And I don't know if we can pull off the 3-way with the situation.
It's always dicey pulling off the 3-way, Mark. You never know if it's going to happen until it actually happens.
We did it one time in Vegas. Wow. Only you would go down that path. I am old and yeah. Anyway. A very special guest on Monday. Got a phone call from him, and we were discussing so many of the things that were taking place in the world.
Oh,
and
really?
This guy has been around for what, 50 years?
Oh, no, not the guy I was thinking of. Well, you had a phone call where you were discussing business. We were talking about it off air. But the 50 years thing really cuts that one.
He's not 50. No, and I'm talking about Rick Pierce. And
okay.
Rick Pierce, the owner of Basscat Boats, or former owner. He actually runs Basscat because they were sold to, I forget the company that they were sold to, but he has been in this business forever. And some of the stories that Rick has about what has taken place through the vintage years of this game.
Yarcraft?
Yes. That's part of it. Yeah. And I'm stupid because I don't remember, but I'm sorry. But anyway, Rick's been around forever, and Rick has some very interesting thoughts on so much of what is taking place in the bass fishing world that I asked him. I said, Rick, why don't you come on?
That'd be a good one.
Tell some stories. Give us a viewpoint from a company that is involved with both organizations, and really hopefully give us some insight as a sponsor of both. And give us your take on what's going down in this madness, drama, as you call it, in the professional bass fishing world. So we will have Rick Pierce on Monday.
76.9. That's what I got. I got the links up to 76.9 on Oolaga last week. Crappie fishing, fastest anyone's ever gone crappie fishing, guaranteed.
Huh?
I was impressed.
Interesting. Where at?
Oolaga. I can't. Is it Oolaga or Oolaga?
I think it's Oolaga.
Oolaga.
I've never been on the lake. That's where Terry Butcher lives, right by there.
Yeah. And Edwin will fish it. They've actually filmed, I think, some commercials out there. But yeah, they could get some decent crappie out there.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to find.
Dirt roads.
No, I put it down by the dam.
Okay.
So it's really nice. You go through is it RSU out there or what?
Yeah.
Roger State? Kind of
Yes.
go past there and then go straight. It's like 30 minutes from the house. So refining my crappie fishing.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Minnows?
Oh, no. I went out last week with Brad Hallman and John Sukup, and Sukup, he's doing some crazy stuff in the crappie world, employing some bass techniques, fishing for individual fish, suspended. It's pretty impressive. Brad and I sat and watched a man crappie fish for 6 hours.
Really?
And we were intrigued.
The man had some patience, didn't he?
We released 3 over 2.
Wow.
And the other 16 that we kept filled a 5-gallon bucket.
Dude, I opened the door up for your Florida gig, and you didn't say a word.
Oh, yeah.
It was
I know. I got
wide
confused.
open.
Okay, so here's the deal. So, about every year, I didn't go last year, but I go down to Florida with the folks. And I basically fish off a pier, multiple piers around the kind of in the St. Pete Beach area. Pasa Grill is where we'll be for a couple days. But then, like, from Friday till Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll be in Rotunda West, I believe. It's this crazy, weird deal. It's like this symmetrical. All the houses have lanais and they're on these canals. Anyway, it worked for you in New York.
Yeah.
You said, hey, I'm going to be around Lake Oneida. I want to go catch some big smallmouth.
Yeah, I had a great time.
So if you happen to be in the Rotunda area next week and you're going out and you have a flats boat or something, or you got a really good, I'm into like the snook, the sheep's head, the pompano, that type of stuff. Anything.
Those are a couple of shows that we did that were awesome too.
But if you're around in that area, I would split gas and you need someone to go out and fish with. You could be on the water.
If you had a good signal, we could actually do the show with the guest.
Right. Now I don't want to be out in the middle of the ocean in a 16-foot Boston whaler, but if you know what's going on, you know your stuff, you got a good bite, and you wouldn't mind me tagging along. I'll buy the sand fleas and fiddler crabs and shrimp.
Who would not want to spend a day on the water with the grasshopper in Florida?
I can think of multiple people right off the top of my head. But anyway, so I figured I'd throw that out. Matt at basso.com, or just send me a message on my Instagram, just at Matt Pankratz.
Not Facebook?
Or Facebook too.
It's the same thing, right?
No, they're different platforms.
But aren't they tied together?
Yeah, but
Doesn't
here's the
Facebook
deal.
own
if you
Instagram?
send a message to someone on Facebook and you're not friends with them, then you have to go through the messages, then you have to click this other thing, and then it shows up, and then you have to accept the message, and then you have to read it, and it's easier to miss.
Okay.
Instagram, it just pops up, and it's just like, hey.
Okay, I got you. All right, we're going to take a break here shortly, here in about a minute, but I want to ask you one quick question. What is one memory that you have about Gerald Swindle and all the years that you have spent out there and I have spent out there covering the Elite Series in the heyday? What is one thing that absolutely sticks in your brain about Gerald Swindle? I thought about this last night.
I've got a weird one. It's at the 2 years ago when they did the Bass Fest at Lake Texoma. And I think it might have been his Angler of the Year season even. Is that when that was? We need to look that up. Anyway, remember it was like 100 degrees.
It was hot.
It was super hot, and the bite was kind of funky. And I was interviewing him, and Gerald was sitting underneath a tree just exhausted. And it was one of the first times that I looked and I was like, man, that guy just fished his heart out. Like, he looked like he had just gone 10 rounds. He looked like he had just played an entire, football game.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a dude who fished really, really hard. And it wasn't an act. He was just exhausted from fishing that day. And I was like, man, there are lessons to be learned there for a guy. You look at how consistent he is for having the one open win.
Yeah.
Look at his consistency across all platforms. He even did it on the Bass Pro Tour this year. He's always right around that cut line. He's a guy who works as hard as it takes to stay in it and give himself a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. I have two.
Okay.
I have 2, and then we're going to take a break and come back with...
It's not a very good one, mine, is it?
Well, you didn't have a lot of time to think about it.
That was the first one.
One was Clear Lake.
I wasn't there.
The big fish that he caught when he was...
you want them, baby?
Yeah.
I got 'em.
You know, when he was sporting the advanced auto parts
Yep.
look, and that was so cool because we were right there. We were right there when that took place on the water. That was quite the tournament for me because we've mentioned before. I mean, they're right back here. The Steve Kennedy lures,
The bass tricks, the Huddleston trout, and the football head.
These are the actual
lures.
3 lures that Steve Kennedy used at the time to break the record. But that is one memory that sticks in my brain. And then the other one is very recent, and we're actually going to hopefully talk about this, is when I was shooting the documentary 49th this year at the Classic. There was a sequence of about 60 seconds where he was walking underneath the, what are they called? The arena seats in the underground, underneath behind the stage area, where it's dark. And then he was walking. He had just came off stage. There was nobody around, and I was just standing there watching because I was actually shooting some film of something else. And he started to walk. His truck wasn't there yet. He started to walk in this darkness of underneath the arena. And he just stopped for a minute, and he put his hands on his shoulders, and his head dropped. And I always wanted to know what he was thinking during that moment. It was just like, wow, it's over. This is the last time that I'm going to weigh in at a Bassmaster Classic. It was just one of those moments that I was the only person to see that moment. And I actually captured a little bit of that on film, and it was actually just one little bitty scene of the documentary after he made his, call it a speech, his exit speech from the last time that he would weigh in at the time in the Bassmaster Classic. But just the emotion that I knew that he was going through, or that I felt that he was going through in that moment in the darkness underneath the arena, was priceless. And hopefully he will talk a little bit about that moment and what that moment meant to him.
I was thinking, he also lives in a very interesting position now because he lives in like the same neighborhood as Fletcher Shryock and the same hometown as Boyd Duckett.
Yeah.
I mean,
they'll never see each other,
been to
man.
Guntersville before. If there's not a bass tournament going on, it's not a very big town, Mark.
They'll never see each other, man. They'll never see each other at the Cracker Barrel or any of those places.
I'm just saying, he is in the middle of it.
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't think they're going to run into each other. All right, everybody. Hopefully everybody's staying warm on a Tuesday. We're going to take a break, come back with Gerald Swindle right here on a Tuesday. Stay tuned.
You are serious about catching fish. That HDS is a dead giveaway. You've got the best fish finding sonar money can buy. Time to build the ultimate fish finding system with live sight sonar. See what your lure is doing in real time. Watch fish strike as it happens. See for yourself. Take the Live Sight Sonar 30-day challenge. If Live Sight Sonar doesn't help you find and catch more fish, send it back, no questions asked.
All of us on the Pro Tournament Trail use Gamakatsu hooks.
Why?
Because they are absolutely the best.
It's not about how many bites you get.
It's how many you put in the boat.
Gamakatsu makes hooks for every fishing style.
We didn't come this far to lose fish.
Did you?
For more information, visit gamakatsu.com.
We've paired one of the most iconic hulls in the history of bass boats with a proven lineup of trusted accessories. We're bringing you best-in-class value and performance, leaving others in your wake. Turnkey value, turnkey performance. The Pantera 2 is an overachiever in the 19-foot category. Once you hit the throttle, you'll feel the rush, and there's no looking back.
I want to share with you a new product we got coming out from Sunline. This is the FC liter size spools that we have now. We've gotten a lot of requests for this. A lot of you guys use fluorocarbon for liters only, myself included. And one of the problems you have is when you have a 200-yard spool, that might last you 2, 3, 4 years. You might even lose it before you even get done with the spool. So we've gone to a little smaller spool. These are 50-yard spool sizes. You know, that way you're not holding your line on forever. You can keep your line fresh, use it when you can, stores real easily in the boat. We got all of our popular line sizes that you're used to with our Sniper from 5 to 14 pound. If you guys are looking for a line that you're only tying for a liter, go check out Sunline FC Liter 100% fluorocarbon and give it a try.
Blue Water by TH Marine. Offering LED lighting solutions for your boat, trailer, truck, ATV, and so much more. Engineered and built to be rugged with waterproof and submersible options. Designed for easy installation, Blue Water is available in a variety of colors and styles. All backed by a limited lifetime warranty. Blue Water by TH Marine.
The name SPRO says it all. SPRO stands for Sports Professionals. When you look at the pro staff that SPRO has brought on board over the past 15 years, it's been pretty incredible. I mean, one got it just then. From the development of the rock crawler to the McStick, from the Fat Papa to the Little John series, when you tie a SPRO bait on, you know it's been designed by a professional to get the job done.
At Duckett Fishing, we have assembled the top pros in the country to help us design rods to give you a competitive advantage. Castability, strength, durability, action, sensitivity, weight and balance, and consistency. Combine that with the best warranty in the industry, and you have rods that are pro-driven.
Duckett Fishing, pro-driven.
I got my power pole down, stuck in the mud in the bottom of the lake, sitting so still in the wind and the waves, could even be a hurricane. I got my power pole down.
Meet AFTCO's iCast award-winning Hydronaut waterproof system. Hydronaut features a 20K 100% waterproof shell, double dry cuffs to keep water out, speed vent hood engineered to prevent neck strain at high rates of speed, AFTCO exclusive Cyclops tactical camera mount, Comfort Flex shoulder straps for all-day comfort, outerwear that you can count on. The Hydronaut waterproof system by AFTCO. Any fish, any water.
All right, we are back on a Tuesday. Northeast getting pounded, Matt, by snow. A lot of lake effect snow going on up there.
The audio wasn't working there.
No,
It
I got
wasn't
it
that
now.
I was pondering the weather conditions in the Northeast there for 5 minutes, but I'm glad we're not there. I mean, that's one of those places where I've always said, you know, if I ever have money, I'm going to have a place in the Northeast. Just had someone
Only
last
during
night.
the summer.
I had someone last night say, "What's the coolest place you've been to?" I said, "Upstate New York." He goes, "Seriously?" I said, "Dude, it's awesome."
It really is. It's one of my favorite places. Talked about it numerous times. All right, we are ready for our special guest, and kind of excited. He's been on the show numerous times. He was actually, imagine this, in the tree stand early this morning.
He's in the tree stand every day.
Well, this time of the year. Absolutely. Let's do this. Let's bring him in. Gerald, are you there, man?
I'm here, man. That's not a tree stand. That's called therapy. It's a therapy session. I was at my counselor. How about that?
Yesterday we had Brandon on, and he said that the most therapeutic day he ever had was when he spent daylight to dark in a tree stand without a cell phone.
It can be common. I mean, everybody's got their thing to do. I mean, I know, Matt, you like to ride horses. Your woman's got you right now, so that's your therapeutic day. I can see you out there wearing those little tighty tights, those boots, jumping them horses. I mean, hey, I get it.
I've ridden a horse twice in my life, Gerald. My therapy is scooping horse shit out of the shed. That's what it is. I get a half hour where I go in there, and I know the horses. I can look in a stall without a horse in it and tell what horse was in that stall based on the pattern on the ground of the horse poop.
That is the line of the year so far, right there, Gerald.
I'm with him. I'm with him, dude. Hey, sometimes you just got to get down there and you got to get down and dirty with the shit to realize where you're at in life.
I know. No one bothers you. If you're scooping horse shit, no one says, "Oh, I'm going to bother him." They're like, "Holy cow, he's doing that job. Let him get that done." You get a pecs, you work on the shoulders a little, the traps, get a little cardio in, and then you do it all again the next day.
Wow. All right.
It makes you appreciate working with Jeffries. You see what I'm saying? It really makes you appreciate your job.
Wow. All right, man.
This interview didn't start out like Mark thought, did it?
No.
He just like this just went downhill.
No, but every time he talks about doing what he just said, I can't get that picture out of my mind in Animal House. Hopefully you've seen that movie Animal House where Flounder's in the horse stalls, and Niedermeyer makes him start doing push-ups right there with the pile of you-know-what.
Every now and then you got to break out and get the hard yard and wind sprints in and push-ups right there on the horse poops, huh? Hey, I guarantee you won't go down and stay down. You'll push back up.
Yeah. I don't think Matt is floundering in the horse stalls, though. Not at all.
I got it down to an art.
You're just scooping it up. All right, dude. Obviously, big news with what went down last week. And I want to ask you this first, all right? I was thinking last night about some of my memories involving you and all those years that Matt and I were out there on the Elite Series covering it. And Matt gave me his, but I had a couple, and I really want you to reflect, because one is very, very special to me, and I think it's very relevant with the situation that is developed. When the 49th Classic went down, I actually had a scene that was in the documentary that we did, and it was you underneath the arena after you weighed in, and you were walking to your truck, and it was very, very dark, and as you were walking toward your truck wasn't there yet as it made the loop around the arena. As you were walking toward where your truck was going to be, you suddenly just stopped, put your hands on your hips, and looked down at the ground, and it seemed like that you were totally just immersed in your thoughts and the emotion of what just went down. Do you remember that? And if you do, was that a situation where you truly believed that was the last time that you were going to be on the stage?
I think it was weighing on me. It was weighing on me a lot more than what I might have let on to the public. You know, it was weighing on me, because to walk away from that, man, you think you're ready, but you get in that, you weigh in, the adrenaline comes down, you're walking off, and you're all of a sudden, it's like, it starts to weigh. It might be like Matt, when it's, you play your final game, you skate off the ice, you walk into the locker room, you realize, is this the last walk? So you kind of stop, take it in a little bit, and then it's been weighing with me ever since. I mean, let's be honest with you, it's like, whatever that feeling is on that stage and in that tunnel, hell, I want it back. Whether it's crystal meth, heroin, or love of bass fishing, whatever that is, I want it back.
How much did that weigh on you the entire BPT season? I mean, was it on your mind the entire season? Was that weighing on you to where the decision that you made, you weren't 100% all in? What are your thoughts, G?
It did weigh on me. I honestly can say when I started that journey, we felt like in my heart I said that we're going to try to do something that was what's good for bass. You know, we're going to really try to help bass fishing, and I bought in and tried to give it my heart. But it don't take long, and the heart starts to weigh on you. You know, and I can remember fishing the second or third tournament up there in North Carolina, and I was having a rough one. I mean, I lost one or two that morning. I lost one at the boat about 7 pounds. We'd fished 2 or 3 cold water tournaments in a row. Wasn't having any fun at all. I mean, no fun. And I remember sitting down in the boat on the live camera and just basically saying, because the guy, he asked me, he said, "What's on your mind?" I said, "You really don't want to know." He said, "Tell me." I said, "I signed up for 2.5 more years of this shit and I don't like it."
Wow.
You know, I said, "Put that on TV." I said, "I don't like this because I'm going through all this stress. And I know at the end of the year, there ain't no plastic. Ain't going to be no standing ovation. There ain't no golden light." You know, it was a reality then that you're putting yourself through this and it ain't the same. I didn't feel the same in practice. I didn't get the high in the morning that blast off, you know, and I don't know. I'm going to ask you two guys, y'all both into sports. You know, you both play sports. You study it. I truly believe in fishing. There's gamers that feed off the energy of the game. I believe when you're a rookie, when you consider a rookie being a Polinick down to Lucas, down to the Lee brothers and all that, at that age, man, your adrenaline gets so high, you know, it's different. I believe when you get to a certain age, you're a gamer. When you get to that level and that energy in the building's that high or the tournament level's that high, anticipation, you rise to that occasion. I mean, I'm watching football games this weekend. I watched Jalen Waddle for Alabama just electrify the crowd with catches and all that. He's a gamer. The better he does, the bigger the crowd cheers, the more he wants to do it. I feel like there's fishermen that are truly gamers. Do y'all feel that way?
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you feel like...
You know...
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I'm just saying, and that when that energy's gone, I'm like, I want to be... I really realized at that point during this year several times an anticlimactic situation where I'm like, I missed the game. You know, my heart's at bass. I missed the 5 bass limit. You know, I don't have a problem putting them in my live well. You know, I bought a license that says I can eat them, but I'm not. You know, when you look at it like that, it's a pretty fair perspective that we don't. We do more for conservation than we have ever done to damage it. Has there been a few fish lost in tournaments? Absolutely. They'll also tell you can't kill them all. We don't. So I missed that. I missed the whole tournament scene and fishing the opens with my nephew and being around it, like standing in the parking lot and talking that fishing, like, man, I lost one on a jig and did this and I did that. And we laughed and we cut up and get up in the morning and see the excitement in his eyes to go practice and all that. And I'm thinking, hell, I miss this, man. I miss this. And at a Bass Pro Tour where you can't talk to nobody. You can't even tell Santa Claus what you want on your wish list. You know, I can't even go out and borrow a spark plug from you or a wire, a hook. And I'm like, everything we've ever loved about fishing to me was gone. That's just my personal. It says nothing bad about anybody. That's just where I was mentally in my heart and my mind. Is what I love is gone. The blast off, the weigh-in, the fans, the adrenaline of a tournament, playing the game, getting 5 bites, getting 3 bites, making a call to go slow down. Everything that I'd ever learned to do had been turned upside down. You know, I just like when I was trying to talk with the negotiations of getting out, it's hard to explain to them guys. I said, I've lost my girlfriend and I want to go make up with her. And I said, y'all may not ever understand that, but I truly miss tournament fishing. That style. I like having fun. I like talking about it. You know, me and Matt sit up there and laugh before we're talking stories. You jump one off, this comes off. That's the tie that every angler has that nobody will ever understand, that one green fish can tie people together. And it doesn't matter what race you are, black, white, purple, green. It don't matter where you come from, poverty, rich. It doesn't matter. But that fish can make you experience the same thing I can. And when you start talking about it, you instantly, there's no barriers, there's no walls. It's just you and it. And in today's world, hell, guys, I think that's what's missing. Everything's iPhones, computers, and all that. You have very little conversation where you sit out and talk. And it just started weighing on me. The second open with my nephew up in the Mississippi River, it was on me hard. The third, I fished the last open, that Central Open out there in my aluminum boat, and I'm like, done, man. I'm done.
Wow.
I made a mistake. I made a mistake for me. Can I say that? I made a mistake for what's best for me. And my wife will tell you, when I'm not happy, I'm an asshole. And she said, you're not, she just tell you, she said, and you're not happy. You don't like anything you're doing over here. So you better find happiness. I said, my heart's at Bass, and that's where I want to be. And there's no other way to say that besides I feel like I made a mistake. You got to live with it.
You mentioned some key words. You said fun, gamer, headspace, emotion. And I'm sitting here and we do a lot of other sports comparisons. But do you think being in an emotionally correct spot, having fun, that gamer, that emotional attachment is more important in fishing, considering that unlike other sports, you have 12 to 15 hours a day by yourself in the boat during practice, 8 hours a day during a tournament over the course of a long time? That's a lot to live in your own headspace.
Especially when that head's not clear and happy. And that's exactly, I would be practicing for a Bass Pro Tour event and had been served on the board and new stuff was going on and other stuff that's really not, it's not good. And I couldn't get it out of my head, dude. I could not. And then you come back to the campground and you just look at everybody like, so, what are y'all cooking for dinner? Because that's all you can talk about. So what you found, I felt like my emotions just boiled over inside. Like there was no vent. And like I said, you spend your practice time together, you spend your tournament time together, alone, and you're just sitting there going, well, I'm just stewing on it. And then in an ironic, weird way, which that's kind of the stuff that I'm usually involved in, is the weird stuff, is on tournament days with the score tracker and the camera in the boat and all that, I felt antsy. Like it weighed on me. Like I love to carry on and cut up, but when I tournament fish for the last 10 years, I've become quieter and quieter until the moment's right. But I'm a gamer. I want to put the trolling motor down and play the game to the highest level I can play it during that time frame. Very few interruptions and go with it. Now, what's different, you can have 30 boats chasing me around. That doesn't bother me. But when I have a guy standing right over my shoulder going, score tracker update, Gerald, you're the only guy on the board that ain't got one. I'm like, for the love of God, I know that. I don't have to be reminded that the 9 a.m. on this morning, I suck. It worked on me, dude. Like, it would grind on me. And I'm just like, yep. I'm dating her. I got the bad one. So, everybody's different. It may not affect anybody else like that. It doesn't mean that what some other guys like is wrong or what I dislike is right. I think it's just opinions and what people make them happy. I'm much more happier in a 5-fish limit, a very quiet environment. Just call me weird, boys. Call me weird.
Gerald, obviously, I am intrigued by the business side of this game. I've been very vocal about it on this show over the years. And I'm just curious, when you made the move to Major League Fishing, from the business side of it, from the revenue side, and I don't want to know numbers, obviously, but was all of your sponsors pleased that you made that move? And now, since you are making the move back, what has been the response from your sponsors?
When we made the move, we as a group, the general consensus I got from all my sponsors, which I feel like are just a wonderful group of sponsors I have together, is they said, Gerald, here was the key words: we will support you. We will support you. Okay? Now, that's all they said. They didn't fly no flag over the house. They didn't paint my name in the sky with a paper airplane. They just said, we will support you if this is what you want to do. Now, advance 1 year later, I called them and say, guys, I've had opportunity to go back to the elites. My heart, I'm wanting to go back to the elites. I got ecstatic answers. Cheerful, grateful, excited text. Going to be a great year. Love to have you back. I mean, that's what was weird. Nobody in the beginning told me not to, Mark. There was a lot of people after 1 year that was really, 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 really happy from my sponsor base. Just saying, dude, this is where we want you at. This is where, and from a business standpoint going into that side, I didn't know what, but I took some flack, dude. But toward the end of the year, and was losing money and potentially stood to lose a lot more. So does the business side of that play in your head? Absolutely. But when you're not at peace with your heart, your mind's not in it, and you're not in a happy place, it's hard to make good money anyway. You know what I mean? It's hard to make great decisions. So it was the easiest decision I've ever had to make when the offer was laid back to me that said, you have legend status points. We're going to activate them if you're interested. Easiest decision I ever made.
I asked this question to Brandon as well, and I'm just curious to you, when you first kind of went to whoever it was at MLF saying, hey, I want to go back to Bass, or when you first talked with Bass about, hey, there's talks there, I would like to explore the option to come back. As far as you want to go into that, how did that go on both sides as far as the reception?
Bass was very, what was weird is they didn't really come to me going, hey, we're seeking you out. I had signed up for all 8 opens. So they knew, and when the conversation came around, all I could do to Chase was apologize and say, I wasn't out to hurt you or your family, man. I'm just trying to do what I thought was best. And, if this is something y'all considered, I'm interested. Now, when I reached out to MLF and told them I'd like to get out of my contract, that's a different story. It's more about the money and less about me. Which, hey, business is business, and that's what they got to have. If they have to have my money to survive or do what they got to do, that's fine. I mean, I wanted out of that contract, I can tell you that. And I had 50,000 reasons I was fixing to get out of that contract too.
Wow.
And I think that's just where we're at. It was a tough one. I know. I don't know. It's one of them deals where you want to be adults about it, and it's what's been weird is the overwhelming support of the fan base, guys. Overwhelming. Just email after letter after message after DM message, everything. Man, we're glad to have you back. So that's a very supportive deal. Is a little bit, who would have ever dreamed that you would have had a guy willing to pay? We'd have talked about this 5 years ago. If us two, all three of us sit down at the table 5 years ago having a cold pop, and we say, in 5 years, somebody or 2 people will be willing to pay $50,000 a piece to get out of a contract just to go fish bass. We would have said, what? But you've seen it. That's probably the first time in bass fishing history that's ever happened. When your heart wants something, you know what I mean? That's your mama always said, money can't buy you happiness, but it can sure pay for a way to get you out of a place where you unhappy.
Wow. All right, Gerald. I'm really curious when you made the statement earlier in the interview about at the second open, you said, that's it, I'm done. And besides your wife, was there anybody out there that you were discussing the emotions and the frustration that you were going through that helped you make this decision, or was this just something between you and your wife?
Most of it just between me and her. I think people that knew me could look at me and say, hey, he's not very happy with this. And it was a mixture of things, that led up to where I was. But, once again, at the MLF events, you just can't talk a whole lot, And that was just one of them things that I was just trying to, it's kind of like taking a good lick in the head on the football field. You're just trying to walk it off and keep going. But my wife heard it enough by the end of the year when we was driving home from that last one. She said, you think you're done? She said, hell, I'm done. She said, I can't take it no more. She said, we got to make a change for the better, and that just, it was weird to see that drastic of a change. And then when we got the call, the invitation was there. The spot had been opened up. The Elite Series spot had come available. We were driving down the highway, and I look over her, and she's crying. She's crying, big tears. And I'm thinking, yeah, we're coming home. Probably the easiest decision I've ever made. That's just one of them deals when you know it's right. And hey, there's going to be guys on MLF that I thought was my buddies. They're going to be pissed. If you guys call me tomorrow and said, hey, Gerald, we're going to New York to start a radio show about flowers. We won't be talking to you again, but we're going to be okay. That's not going to change my friendship with Matt and Jeff. It shouldn't. In this situation, I think you're seeing everybody wants to say take a side. Hell, I'm taking the fishy side. I'm taking my heart side. There ain't a side in this. It's just where I'm happy. It just happens to be bass.
Gerald, a number of people on the instant feedback, and maybe just to set the record straight, there are a number of fans out there that want to know why you left and went to Major League Fishing last year to begin with. I mean, would you care to answer that?
It was a rush decision. When this whole deal come down, it was a very limited amount of time to make the decision. It just come out of nowhere. Hey, within so many days, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of duress there, a lot of stress. I hate to say peer pressure, maybe a little bit. A lot of great sales pitches going on. You know what I mean? And I just didn't really have time to weigh it all the way out. To say at that time, was there some things at Bass that I was unhappy with? Yes. But here's the fact of the matter. If you work somewhere 20 years, there's going to be a few things there that you've been unhappy with. So I wasn't giving that a fair shake. I thought in my heart, this is going to do something better for the sport. This is going to provide opportunities. And in some ways, guys, it did. There were some guys who got to fish last year with half an inch of fish. There were some good things that happened. But I don't really have a great answer why I made that decision. Just being rushed, I think it was a perfect storm.
Do you regret making that decision, or is it something now in hindsight?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Hell yeah. Would you regret going home with Big Betty, 7 beers into it, and a wheelbarrow? Yeah, you would.
Well, I mean, you learned some life lessons to where you appreciate it differently since you've seen the result.
He gets a bigger wheelbarrow is what he does.
Hey, I'm just saying, Matt, that ain't how you looked at that in college. When you woke up, you were like, I am learning some valuable life lessons. You were thinking, oh, my God, what have I done? I did. All jokes aside, I learned a lot about myself last year. I learned at a certain age in life, your happiness is a lot more important sometimes than everything else. Yes, you try to do things to help the sport. You try to give it your heart. You try to give it your all. But you have to take care of yourself and where you want to be in that particular game. You have to be happy for the team you're playing with, or it all starts to get bogged out. Do I regret the decision? Yes, I regret it for situations like this. They had an Elite Series on Gunnersville last year. They're having a Classic on Gunnersville. I've spent my last 4 years fishing there as much as I've ever fished in my life. That's the part, like I'm sitting here at the end of the year going, You know, when I see them boats blast off in the Bassmasters Classic, I'm going to be feeling like one of y'all is going to catch my dream. So that part I do regret, Matt. I do. Just sometimes you have to do something dumb or do something bad. I shouldn't say dumb, but you make a bad decision to realize what you need to do different. Yeah, I guess that was just part of the walk that I did. I don't know. You guys know me. I've never been a real smart guy anyway.
Well, that's not true.
I remember when we started it, Jeffrey's asked the Swindle memory, and I came up with mine just in this, based on what you said on the Classic. I remember you were sitting there, and it was that same term. It was the same interview that I did with you at Lake Texoma, sitting in that asphalt parking lot. You were sitting under a tree. You finished third in that tournament, and you were talking about how if you're lucky, you get one chance a year at a tournament that you legitimately feel like you can win.
Yep.
And then I have this written down and circled, which is Gunnersville Classic as far as a perfect storm. And then what you just have seen, you also had to go through this past year thinking, this is a classic that I would legitimately have a chance to win with my life choices, how I moved to Gunnersville, and you knew you wouldn't be fishing in it as it approached all year.
Yep. I mean, I looked at that. That's that. I mean, and since that day, I remember that interview like it was yesterday, because you and I were sitting out there talking, and I know you competitive fish and you're dang good and you're proving it. But do you think that I misled you that day when I told you if you fish all season, there's legitimately probably one tournament that you know you have a chance to win? Do you see that as you're moving up in your career?
Oh, you can't lie to yourself. You can be in 5th place and know that you're on the outside looking in, or you can be in 8th place and know I got a damn shot at this, and there's no way that you can trick yourself into any other truth.
Nope. And if you work hard, you may get in position to have 1. You have a great year, 2. Outstanding year, you may have a position to win 3. Coming to Gunners on the Classic, had I have stayed and made it, yeah, I'd had a legitimate chance. I understand the lake better. It's a better cold water lake for me. But hey, live and learn. I'm going to try to use that motivation as I watch those guys fish there, and I work the Classic floor. I'm going to use it for motivation. That I want to get better. I still think I got a lot to learn about fishing. I really do. Like when I fished last year, I felt like I wasn't learning nothing. Like it was the weirdest thing. Like when I come in at the end of the day, I was doing some dumb crap. Like, knowing if I flipped a big jig on logs all day, I had 2 big bites. So in a regular tournament, I'd be like, I'm going to put that stick in my hand and work that big jig all day. I get me 5 bites. This lights out. I wouldn't even do that stuff in a tournament. Like all the stuff that you had the 1 or 2 random big bites on, you just put it up. And at the end of the year, I told Leanne driving home, I said, hell, I'm going to forget how to fish. I'm going to forget how to fish. I mean, you're doing right opposite of what you normally would be doing. And it was the weirdest thing in the world to practice that way. I'm looking forward to getting back to that, man, when you get those 2 or 3 bites. And I think the cool thing about tournament fishing to me is you fish enough. You watch those guys make those gutsy calls where they go out in the morning, they catch 3 3-pounders. And they're like, well, I can sit here the rest of the day, try to grind me out 2 more 3-pounders to have a decent bag. Or I can pick up that big jig, and if I fish real slow, I'm going to get 2 bites the rest of the day. They're going to be 5-pounders. And you see a guy go do that and make it happen. To me, that's tournament fishing at its best. The guy with guts and patience. That's what you did not. I wasn't able to display that in that format. The patience part. You just can't slow down.
I want to go back a few years, and this is kind of a selfish question, but I want to know, Gerald, back in the Sitco days, and for a lot of our younger viewers, I mean, in my opinion, that was some of the greatest times in this game for the business side of it, from the money side combined with the fishing side. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that was probably the best time, the best era that we've ever seen in professional fishing when that whole situation was taking place?
I would say so. I would say that was some of the best opportunities business-wise. The organization was doing a great job, which I see them doing again now, building brands and letting the angler build himself, which offers him a lot more opportunity in that type of market to make money. But when I still look back and say them days, I hate to say they were the good old days. I'm not going to say we couldn't get back there, but in that era, that's Van Dam winning the Classic up in Pittsburgh, that whole era right there. That was probably the best I've ever seen bass fishing, the highest margin of what guys could go out and make.
I know you and Marty were very tight, Marty Stone, during that era. You had all kinds of battles. You became friends, and now has that relationship been strained a little bit, or is that just something that is just going to go like, things go?
Marty and I have a very upfront and honest relationship. Marty's been super respectful. He hasn't said anything to be negative or bad all year. Just still Marty. He sent me a long text after the announcement and said, "Brother, I'm still your friend. I love you. Always gonna pray for and support you. You got to do what makes you happy." And that's all you can ask for. And there's been a handful of guys like that look at James Watson. Everybody knows him as a cut-up, but, James speaks his mind. And he said, "Dude, we still friends." Wesley Schrader called me. He said, "Brother, don't matter what happened, we're going to be friends." Art Defoe texted me. He said, "Gee, I'm going to miss fishing against you." I texted him back. I said, "Why is that?" He said, "You made me a better fisherman." He said, "You challenged me." And he said, "I'm going to miss you." That's what you're looking for. That's when you know that those guys have got your back. And Marty's one of those guys. He's got your back. He may not agree with my decision, but he's not going to call and judge me on it. He knows that I'm a free-spirited, free-minded thinker. I'm going to do, when I get ready to make a move, I'm going to do what I think I need to do. So he's been super respectful on this whole deal.
All right, very cool. Jake in Ohio has got a really good question. He wants to know, did you ever watch any of the Bass Live stuff last year or during the season, this past season?
Man, that's like asking a guy if he's got a Taylor Swift CD. Well, I snuck around and watched it, I did, and I missed it, I seen some of it, and I missed it. Be honest, yeah, I did. Don't hold that against me, but I did.
Wow. What do you think are the biggest challenges ahead for bass? I mean, let's be honest, Gerald. Things have not always been rosy over there, just like what you said. That's part of the reason why so many guys left, but it seems like that you have a really, really good relationship with Bruce and with Chase. What do you think they need to do to make things better for everybody over on that side?
I think they did a great job this year of, me just backing off and watching them. They were able to get the wheel, get the boat steady, and start going forward. And I have a whole new respect for Chase Anderson. From the time he got put in that position, I can remember when all this went down and, he made the first video, and everybody's like, "Man, that was just not good. He shouldn't have done that." I said, "Let me tell you what I think about that. Hell, he tried." You know what I mean? I said, I'll give a man that. He come right in the office and he tried. And then I've seen him at ICAST and he's down there rolling up the sleeve, guys, and he's walking around shaking hands. When you get served the doo-doo sandwich that he got and you showed that kind of he was very passionate about the sport and what he was doing, whether you agreed with everything he done or not. I like the fact that he rolled his sleeves up and he come in there and he started being a leader. To me, that's what I took away from that. To hear him talk, what he said, was we making some mistakes at Bass? Yes, we were, Gerald. Are we trying to get better? Yes, we are. That's all you can ever ask for. That's it. That's it. An organization that never admits to their mistakes is going to always struggle. You hear what I'm stepping in? Smell it? An organization that's willing to say, we've made a few mistakes, let's get it better. That's what I seen in Chase. I seen Chase rolling them sleeves up. And let me tell you something, boys. He was trying to hit a curve ball with a wiffle ball bat and 60-mile-an-hour winds. His first couple of months on the job, y'all have to admit.
Yeah.
I respect that. Yeah. I sit by him at ICAST. I told him, I said, dude, come sit by me at lunch. And I told him, I said, Chase, legit respect, bro. You doing what you got to do. And it's from a player's standpoint, to see an owner get out and do that, to me, that goes a long way. I don't think they have to do much any different. I think that they've stabled the ship. They've corrected a few things that they needed to do. They have looked forward to their vision of where they want to be. And I think, just by sometimes it seems like overdriving the bus is where the kids get wrecked and hurt. I think by them just driving the bus straight, they're going to keep building and growing. I really do. I don't think they have to do anything special from this point on. They're going to be fine.
All right, man. Wow, the instant feedback, I apologize to a number of people. You answered a lot of the questions that were asked already. Might hit a couple more, and then we're going to let you go, Gerald. Several people on the instant feedback, including Dave, want to know, do you think that Major League Fishing will be around 5 years from now?
I don't doubt the Major League Fishing will be successful. I don't question that. I question the time frame it's going to take them to get where they want to be. There's some driven, very smart people. Success is inevitable. It's going to come. Here's the trick part of that, the answer to that, Dave. I believe that was your name.
Yep.
In order for them to succeed at the level they need to succeed, a lot of anglers are going to have to pay the price. That's just basic math. There's just not enough money in the industry to support an additional league without anglers eventually seeing the cuts. Will they get to where they want to be? Absolutely. To some level. But on the other hand, will 5 bass tournament fishing ever go away? No. And as they say on YouTube, hell to the no. It ain't never going away. It is built in a man's DNA. If you watch the old cowboy and Indian movies, the Indians sent the best hunter out in the tribe to go kill a buffalo or a deer. When he come back, they celebrated. Why? Because he was admired as the most feared hunter. You do this in deer hunting, guys go out, shoot the biggest buck. He comes back to camp. They pour up cold drinks. They celebrate. That day, he's the feared hunter. Bass fishing, we go out. It's in your DNA. You catch the biggest 5, and on that one day, when Matt stands on stage and holds them up, he's feared as the most feared fisherman that day, the best. That's in your DNA, and it ain't leaving. Period.
Wow.
And that's redneck knowledge. You take that to the bank.
He's a bad man, Jeffries.
Do you disagree, Matt?
You're a bad man.
Bad. See,
Jeez.
You got jokes today. You got jokes. You just need somebody to tell them to.
Jeez, unbelievable.
I mean, that's just my opinion. It's always been in the man's DNA. And I think with today's technology, with the fish care products from TH Marine and G Juice, that's a sense of sponsor plug, but I threw that in there because baby got to have shoes. Christmas is coming up.
I forgot all about that. You've got a live well release additive, and you haven't put a fish in the live well for a year. That's got to be a hard sell. You're calling up those Eskimos going, how do you sell that ice again?
Oh, jeez.
Hey, I'm just like, whoo, whoo. I mean, when I went to that open, I just was pouring it out going down the lake. Just put it on all of them. Just free willy. Just free them up. But, I think catch and release is not going anywhere.
Wow.
Next question off the Instagram feedback board.
No, man.
No,
We're good. We're good on that. I'm really curious. What do you want for Christmas, man? What is a guy of your stature and when the holidays roll around, what do you want for Christmas, man?
Mary Ann and Ginger. I don't know. You know, my wife picks that now at times. She says, "What do you buy an outdoorsman for Christmas that has everything he wants in outdoors?" I said, "Really nothing." You know, it's weird. Christmas to me, I don't know. I guess it's just getting a little bit older. The last 6 or 8 years, it just seems like Christmases are so rushed, and everybody's rushing through it. So many families they're getting so much bigger that it seems that we run through the Christmas race, and nobody even knows where the start of the finish line is. We're just racing from house to house, stuffing in the turkey, grab the presses, rip them open, put the bows in the car, get the bows. Who's got the cooler? Where's the dog? Get the kids in the car. Let's go to this one. At the end of Christmas, I'm like, Christmas is stressful. I guess what I really want for Christmas is just to sit back on Christmas Day and enjoy it. You know, just sit back and say, it's a good day. It's a good day, Tater. And I guess I'm just being old and a little bit sentimental, but I've just seen Christmases grow so commercial and so stressful. It really takes the fun out of it.
It's an interesting point, man.
But I'd take Mary Ann Ginger. If you could get Mary Ann Ginger in the stocking, I mean,
do you know who that
is? You could
Matt?
ask the Game and Fish.
Yeah, it's from Gilligan's Island.
Okay.
I mean,
jeez.
Yeah. He was on that threshold. He was there.
Yeah, he was. He was. All right, man. We're gonna let you go, but one of the best interviews that we've done, Matt. Long time.
Yep.
It's good stuff, man. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I know some of my opinions and the way I look at things sometimes is different. And it's how I feel. I don't expect everyone to understand it. I just try to be honest with folks. I wish nothing but MLF the best. My friends over there, nothing but the best, man. But, my heart's at Bass. I'm an Elite Series lifer, man. This is what I want to do till I'm too old to step out of that Phoenix. That's where I want to be. And I've told them before, when they get ready to bury me, you can paint that bitch black, put a big number 3 on it, and ride me around the arena one more time. That's where I want to be.
All right, man. Can't wait to see you, and wish you the best during this holidays. Try to relax. Try to enjoy it a little bit more. So much to look forward to in 2020.
It is, man. And hey, before I forget it, great job this year, Matt. I was watching you on social. You was out there busting them old bass up at the Cumberland River. I was like, look at this. He is Cumberland Lake. He has got y'all on the roll. So you did good, man. Keep up the good work.
Thanks,
don't keep
sir.
it up so good, because I don't want to have to fish against you.
That's called buttering up the media there. Just ending it with buttering us up.
All right, man. Have fun, Gerald.
Thank y'all for having me on.
All right,
See
man.
ya.
Take care. There you have it, folks. Gerald Swindle, and wow.
I don't think much needs to be said about that one. We just close her out right there and let that.
Yeah, for some reason you caught the interview halfway through. Definitely an episode that you need to go back and listen to. So greatly appreciate him taking time out. Tomorrow, dude, I'm still TBA-ing it. I'm not sure what we're going to do tomorrow. I'm working on a couple of things. But just check out the website, and I will let everybody know on the website what our plan is for tomorrow. Heck, we may roll into it not knowing until 8 a.m. tomorrow, but I'm working on a couple of things. I think the priority this week was to get Brandon and Gerald on this week and hear what they had to say, and 2 tremendous interviews today and yesterday. So we'll go from there.
Totally agree. Looking forward to it.
You done any shopping? Did you do the Cyber Monday thing and all? No. Did you do Black Friday? We didn't even talk about Black Friday.
No.
Do you know what you're buying the girlfriend yet?
No. Nah, I've got an idea.
Do you have a list? I mean, do you have like 3 items?
No. It doesn't. Okay, so here it is. She doesn't listen to the show. You told what you're getting, Carolyn.
Yeah.
So I saw this thing like where you could get your pet's face on socks, and I thought that was cool. But then I saw this thing where you could get your pet's face on like a big wool fluffy blanket.
Yeah.
So I think Gemma the French Bulldog is going to be on a big fluffy face, is going to be on a big fluffy blanket.
Well, that's kind of cool.
And I can get out of it for like less than $100.
Yeah.
And then get to do some other stuff too. But I think that's going to be what? I think it's kind of, I mean, she's always cold. Because she's a girl.
That's kind of creative.
And she loves the dog way more than me.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
Very good. Very good stuff. All right. Annie in Indiana wants to know, hey, tomorrow let's just have Matt talk about what his plans are for 2020. People want to know, man. They want to know what the Grasshoppers got in the works. You don't sound too thrilled about that.
No, I am. I'm excited. I've 15, 16 tournaments.
It's a lot.
Not all of them are out of the state.
Okay.
If Swindle's fishing all 8 opens, I might be fishing against him at some of them. I will be.
So I don't think you have announced what you're doing yet.
No, I signed up for the Central Opens.
Okay. Anything else? I know the nation.
The Oklahoma Bass Nation. I got this. I made the state team, so I'm on the regional there. I'm fishing the U.S. Open as a boater this year, and right now I'm debating on whether or not to go out to Arizona for the One Bass Arizona Open the beginning of February. And then I'm going to fish the Nichols Team Series in Oklahoma as well.
With who? Juice?
Well, yeah, I'll probably
Maybe
fish
Juice?
it with Juice. Yeah,
Really?
My buddy Juice Newton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
very cool.
No
All right.
no MLFLW.
No. Not happening. All right, Jake in Ohio. I will answer that question tomorrow.
What, do you
Pretty
want to
good
know what you're
question.
fishing?
No.
You didn't want to know?
All right. Do I need to make an announcement?
Pleased to announce that the Old Man's Tuesday League, I will be partnering with Ed Barton again.
That is correct.
Intermittently for 2 to 5 tournaments during topwater and spawning season.
That is it.
If they get on a Carolina rig bite, I might jump in on the 10-killer one.
That is it. All right, everybody. Great show. Want to thank Gerald Swindle once again. Tomorrow, same time. Have no idea what we're doing, but I guarantee you we'll have some fun. All right, everybody. That's it. We're out of here.